They barged in just as I was setting the wine glass down on the smooth marble countertop. 4 familiar faces I hadn't seen in over 10 years, bursting through the front door like a memory with unfinished business. My ex-wife was at the helm, her parents trailing behind, and with them was the man I was never supposed to see again. The one who'd faked his death in the form of a terminal illness. Her breath caught as she stepped inside. Their eyes darted around, hungry to understand what they were witnessing. The interior betrayed nothing of my old life. Oil paintings lined the walls, the staircase, an elegant swirl of polished mahogany, climbed upward like a whisper. Every surface shimmered under soft, amber lighting. But it wasn't the art or the architecture that stopped them in their tracks. It was the photograph resting atop the grand piano, a woman and a child. Not her. Not theirs. A new beginning. My life, as it stands now, captured in a single frozen moment they were never supposed to see. She tried to speak but faltered. Time hadn't been gentle with her. The confidence in her eyes, once a weapon, had dulled. The years had chiseled away her certainty. I leaned casually against the counter, glass still in hand, cloaked in silence like it was custom-made. I wasn't angry. I wasn't numb. I was simply done. It ended on a Thursday. No tears. No explanation. Just a text. My ex is terminal. If you can't accept that, we're over. Her words cut clean, final and cold. I remember the honeymoon suite we never visited, the reservation left to rot instead of being cancelled. Her calls stopped. Her family, who used to treat me like a son, sent a single line. We hope you understand. Understand what, exactly? That she walked out to tend to a lie dressed as a tragedy? He wasn't dying. He never was. Stage 4, she said. Then months later, a miracle. Remission. As if terminal disease could be neatly reversed like a poor decision. I said nothing. I didn't argue. I didn't demand closure. I blocked their numbers, vanished the next morning, and started over without looking back. I met my wife in a moment the world seemed paused, during a blackout, stranded in a quiet city cafe lit only by candles. She said it was destiny. I thought it was coincidence. But we leaned into it. At the time, I was a junior architect with a cheap portfolio and big ideas. She was beginning law school, just as broke, just as hopeful. We lived on instant noodles and shared dreams that barely fit in our shoebox apartment. At night, she'd trace maps on my back and whisper, "Build us a forever." And I wanted to. I planned to. But the past doesn't knock, it barges in. It whispers familiar names, digs up old emotions. She changed. Her gaze no longer lingered. Her phone, once left open on the kitchen counter, began to stay locked. The laughter that once filled our home began to echo, hollow and infrequent. I noticed. I didn't accuse. I watched and I listened. One night, I overheard her on the balcony, thinking I was asleep. "I haven't told him yet," she whispered. She didn't know I'd already woken up, in every sense of the word. The truth came quietly through emails. He wrote, "You came back to me like you promised." She responded, "It was always you. I just have to let him down slowly." I didn't grant her a scene. No questions, no shouting match, no dramatics. I packed what was mine and left. Quietly. But I remembered everything. In the years that followed, I rebuilt. I changed cities. Founded my firm. Designed a home that reflected the man I became. Not the boy who had begged for loyalty. Every line I drew, every wall I raised, was a silent response to betrayal. Not revenge, no. Just progress. Slow, deliberate, and irreversible. I kept tabs on them, just enough to know. They married briefly. Divorced within 3 years. He tried to run a bar. It flopped. She moved back in with her parents. They assumed I'd disappeared. Then last year she saw a magazine profile. Visionary architect redefines modern living. That was the breadcrumb. That's how they found me. And so here they were, standing in the life I built without them, unable to comprehend it. I let them take it in. Let the weight of what they lost settle in the room. Then I finally spoke. 12 years too late. "What do you want?" Her father fumbled for words. "We're not here to cause trouble. We just didn't expect." His sentence trailed off. Her mother's eyes were fixed on the photo of my family. "You moved on. she said softly. No, I replied. I grew. The man beside her, her ex, her reason, her undoing, glanced around, searching for the version of me he once ridiculed. He didn't find him. That version no longer existed. She finally spoke, tentative. I thought you'd still be angry. I raised the glass to my lips. That would mean you still mattered. They left without another word. No apology. No screaming. Just the fading sound of regret against the marble floor. I watched them go, closed the door behind them with care. From the staircase, my wife appeared. Everything all right? Just echoes, I said. She smiled, then disappeared into our son's room. I stood alone in the foyer, feeling the hum of peace return to the house. It felt lighter without them in it. People romanticize revenge like it's a dramatic climax. But it isn't. It's the quiet, fulfilled life you lead. One so complete that your absence becomes the sharpest echo in someone else's story. She left me for a story she believed in. I gave her the truth. I never needed her to begin with. Closure isn't silence. It's the sound of their retreat, and the door they'll never be welcome through again.